I just want to acknowledge again on stream while we're waiting for James that again the non-binary pride flag looks more like a space fleet, like as like a space faring super society's flag more than it does a pride flag. Especially when it's hung like this.
That's weirdly a mood, yeah.
Which is awesome because I identify as space pirate, so. Okay. And he's back. Okay.
Actually, my flag looks the most gay out of all of them, which I know isn't a competition.
That's not a competition.
I'd be winning.
Okay, now that we're all back and we look pretty on this stream, I just want to say, what's up, gays and furries? Welcome to Trash Chronicles. Gays and furries this time. Well, I mean, I think Hey Furries is going to be a really good beginning call sign for this entire thing.
I'm going to laugh every time, just to be clear.
If you guys don't like it, you can fight me. With your hands. You're all furries now. Congratulations. You have official personas and you have official persona lore.
I can't believe I got a religious persona.
A religious persona.
I can't believe I did this.
So this is officially the first episode of Trash Chronicles. Last time it was Session 0. We did a bunch of backstory stuff. If you want to go and listen to all that backstory stuff, that's super cool. We mainly just used it to develop the relationship between the possums and the crow, which is a little why I want to go a little more in depth to our raccoon Tui character a little deeper. Before we go, I just want everyone to know that I also put the splash image, the image that, well, if you're watching this on YouTube, the image that showed up before the video started, or before I said Hey Furries, I put that on t-shirts and die-cut stickers. You can find that in stickers and stuff you want to, you know, buy t-shirts and show off.
US Pizza stickers still available?
That one's still available, yeah, if you want to do that. Okay. We don't have any merch for, yeah. We don't have any merch for, Beastmasters, but that's
Beastmasters.
Beastmasters.
I wasn't there and I figured it out faster than you did.
You freaking goober. So if you guys want to help us with that, there's a link, my link tree. It's got all of the stuff, and that's in the description if you want to go and do that, along with the Patreon, which we'll get talking to about a little more about what Patreon we do on Patreon. We'll get to that at the end of the stream before we sign off. So if you're curious and want to know, you stick around. You know, it's cool. But today I want to do some more development on our friend Chewy Raccoon. When we last left off, we were role playing the naming and baptism ceremony for our two possums, but they are not the only person in the group to be baptized into the Church of Good Burger. It's actually a rite of passage for those who are in the crime family of the raccoons. And you, Chewy, can remember the first time you ever heard anyone talk about baptism and a naming ceremony within the church. You were helping your dad out in the kitchen. You're rolling meatballs, and setting them out on a tray so they can.
That's my dad's name.
Oh yeah, Nibbles. Your dad's name is Nibbles. Nibbles Raccoon.
Okay.
That's his Good Burger
notes,
name.
But I'm not.
Yeah, Nibbles is your dad's name. And he was talking to his brother, mob boss Don Chunky, as they're rolling the meatballs, reminiscing about their naming ceremonies and subsequent baptism. And so there you are with you, a small little raccoon cub, and two great big raccoons, one great bigger than the other, just in the kitchen in the Spoon, with a restaurant that one day you will be ahead of. Yes. Yeah, the naming ceremony was pretty cool. The red-eyed one really fixated on my my appetite. Same with you, it would seem, brother. Yes, it was. I can remember the nuggets like it was yesterday. I ate so many. My cheeks, they chunked up. I guess that's kind of why you named me Chunky. Ah. And you're there on a little stool. You got a little apron on. Your face is kind of your white mask is your black mask is obscured by white flour, and you've got these little plastic gloves on to keep your hands sanitary as you roll the meatballs. Is there anything that you want to ask them at this young impressionable age?
I wasn't mentally prepared to be a child raccoon, I guess. And I'm still also workshopping.
I'm sorry, that's a whole lot to push on
as well. It's okay. And to be fair, if I wasn't like exhausted from the life activities, like whatever life events, this be easier. But okay.
Sure.
I'm so sorry.
Don't worry about it.
I wish I was more ready for this.
No pressure. One day,
Why they name me Chewy when they should have named me Cookie?
Well, at this point, you haven't been baptized yet. You haven't been named yet.
Oh, okay.
This is pre your baptism.
That's it for some shit.
Right. You're still a little young to be baptized at this point.
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm not all here. I'm gonna be a quiet child. Sure. Let's go with that.
Sure. Saying nothing, just
focus too much on the meatballs. I have to hyper focus on like one thing at a time. It's how my actual brain works. So my character can just be ADHD.
I love
too.
that.
It's
That's awesome. You know what? You really focus in on these meatballs.
I look like I hear none of this, but I'm absolutely listening.
You're in it. You're deep. You're deep in these meats. You're deep in these meats. You're taking chunks out of the great big mound of ground beef and spices, and you get yourself in this kind of zone where you've kind of got this innate sense for the ratio of spices even within this randomly kneaded together assortment of materials. And you've just got this kind of this flow state, and you're just churning out these meatballs, and you're just plopping them down row after row after row, and you feel a hand, a paw on your shoulder. One day, son, you'll have a naming and a baptismal ceremony, just like me and your uncle here, and it's gonna be great. You'll do great things. One day, you'll no longer be little Timothy Raccoon. You'll have a different name, just like we'd have.
Big excite.
Whoa!
And just something with excitement.
Whoa, you have really churned out a lot of meatballs. Brother, look at this. My goodness.
I don't have a child, sorry.
No, you're childing very well.
That's probably just because I am one.
He's a little meatball rolling machine, isn't he? And he tussles your hair with his, meat covered glove on because he's showing affection, but in a pseudo, uncly aggressive way. Let's pop all these little babies into the oven and get them browned up a little bit before we saute them with the oil and the sauces. Little tasty babies. Oh, I like that. I like this kid. I like this kid a lot. The adults talk as after they slide the tray of the meatballs into the oven, the little light flicks on. I imagine the way that you've been characterizing yourself as a child, that you have just been like crisscross applesauce, just right there, just looking in the oven, just watching these babies brown.
Oh yeah, like the joke of like the tan from the oven in some commercials.
Yeah.
That, but like
it darkens your raccoon mask.
It's like the fur is like slightly bleached from watching the oven or something.
Son, you need to step back from the oven. It's gonna mess up your eyeballs.
But then I can't hear the sizzlies.
Well, you'll hear plenty of sizzlies. And then the timer goes off. Ding! And your dad puts on an oven mitt and takes the meatballs out of the oven, puts them into a frying pan that's kind of already crackling with olive oil. And slowly he starts to incorporate some of the spaghetti sauce, marinara sauce, in, and the whole room just erupts in wonderful smells. You can smell the garlic, you can smell the spices from the meatballs and everything. It's just all bubbling, and it's just one of those.
Pulls up a stool to watch him do it.
It's just one of those formative childhood moments. And your uncle, Don Chunky, he leans on over, an interesting feat given his size, and he leans on over to you and says, "Pick out one of the meatballs that was yours, huh? I want to taste it." Thank you. And he pops that into his mouth. Ah! Ha! Ha!
That's what claws are for.
He's taking it in. He's doing this he's like incorporating air into it like one of those sommeliers. He's like, good God. Nibbles, your son has a gift. One day, mark my words, one day, this restaurant is gonna be his. He's looking down at you. You can feel the warmth of the kitchen and the warmth of familial bonds just growing strong. We flash forward to your naming and your baptism within the Church of Good Burger. You're there with your dad and your uncle Don Chunky as they motion you to go through a large hole in the side of the building. The inside of which is laden with shimmering stones and glass that's stuck together in a brilliant mosaic stuck with glue and chewing gum that leads outside of the park into the dumpster of the local franchise of Good Burger. What you see is what has been seen by many pilgrims in the Good Burger faith before you. A hole that leads directly into the dumpster, and a passage to go either one way or the other way around the dumpster. The choice is yours. Do you go in the dumpster or do you go around it?
I'm gonna go in the dumpster.
Go in the dumpster. It's a dark place, but your culinary nose is just activated. You're sniffing everything. You've got your special interest is dialed up to 15.5, and you're just tearing into bags, just like pulling out really barely eaten tomatoes, and just kind of sniffing them over, giving them a good lick. You're tasting the mustard, and you're tasting the ketchup, and you're tasting the honey mustard dipping sauce for the Good Burger nuggets. When all of a sudden the dumpster is illuminated with the light of an overhead street light, and the red-eyed one leans over the side of the dumpster with a fresh bag of garbage and looks down at you. This is a tall, scrawny, looming, backlit figure with eyes that glow red with an ethereal, godly-like presence. He is bathed in light from above, and he holds what you know to be a satchel filled with the greatest delights that your kind has ever known, and he drops it in, and he kind of pushes the door of the dumpster over, and it leans up against the wall of the park, and he kind of puts his hands up on the dumpster wall and kind of looks down at you. Hey, man. What you got there? Is that a tomato? Do you like the tomato? What you gonna do with that tomato, man? It's kind of weird to pick it out of the burger. Ah, you're gonna... Okay, alright. Okay, yeah. You can see him take one of his arms, put it down somewhere around his, like, waist part, and then he pulls the thing back out, but his hand seems to have morphed into this kind of rectangular shape, and from that rectangular shape a flash appears. And you can hear him narrate as he writes out, as he seems to dictate something to himself. Meet Chewy, the newest critter of Good Burger Trash family. He seems to like tomatoes. See you around, Chewy. And he shuts the door of the dumpster, and you're left there with a brand new satchel of trash, and the tomato that you were chewing on.
Cool.
What you find is some promotional toys from a little-known movie called Ratatouille. There is like a tiny little plush Remy rat with some clothes that you can take off of Remy rat, like a little chef apron, like a little chef shirt for Remy, or a little chef hat.
Is it like the Build-A-Bear stuff?
No, it's like a terrible McDonald's plushie that happens to have clothes you can take off.
Right, I forgot fast food.
Yeah, fast food. So, I mean, you can take the shirt, or you can take the hat, or you can just keep scrounging around.
Is there a spatula?
There is the spatula is actually a felt spatula sewn into the waistband of the chef's shirt.
I'm definitely taking the shirt.
Heck yeah, dude. And so with that, the gift and this new name that the red-eyed one has given you, you emerge from the hole in the park wall back into the rectory of the Church of Good Burger. And there is Reverend Jack of the Box with your uncle and your father, and he says, "My child, what is the red-eyed one named you this day?"
Chewy.
Chewy! And would you look at the gift that he has brought? Is a little shirt. It's got a spatula on it. I mean, it's not a real spatula, obviously, but it's a good shirt. Come! And he takes the shirt from your hands, and he rips the Velcro that is holding it around off, and opens it up, and just kind of helps you put the shirt on and Velcros it back on. From this day forth, you will be Chewy Raccoon, a valued member of the raccoon crime family. And, you know what? You're old enough. You are now the head chef of the raccoon-owned restaurant, The Spoon. Happy baptism, my little friend, my cousin.
Thank you.
My little nephew. Very good, yes. You are walked back into the front with the congregation, front of the congregation, in front of friends and family, all taking their time, very carefully not spilling the sacred elixir from the little spouts in the front of the church and pouring it into the little serving dish that would soon be used for your baptism. Your father and your uncle are there on either side of you, holding your chest and holding one shoulder each, as you are dunked into the Mountain Dew solution and raised back up and baptized under your new name as Chewy Raccoon. This day is echoed throughout many years, as we also have seen that, you know, in order to kind of save public face, our good friends, the possums, have also need of being baptized and named because of various incidents, we'll say, caused by one Ruby.
Both of us every time, just the two of us.
Yes,
Ruby
sir.
Pass. And where we left off, we had Ruby Possum had found one of those tiny little disc shooters that you'd find in a Happy Meal toy, and Ronnie had found one of those little decoder rings. Apparently another James Bond movie had just come out, or something like that. And you guys...
Getting the timeline down.
Spy Kids 4.
Spy Kids 4, yes! I forgot they did that!
Comparison.
Moss told me we were in like the 20s, so that's what I thought we were doing, but okay.
Well, listen.
Like, are the animals in 20s and like humans not?
There's layers of time here, yeah.
Works for me.
2007 because Ratatouille came out.
Yeah.
I've been in the chat trying to decipher a conspiracy theory of mine.
I saw that.
So,
Unfortunately, I can't add anything because I don't.
you know what's going on. That's fine.
You two are looking over.
Moss has actually mentioned it to me too.
You two are looking over your gifts as the dumpster is illuminated once again with a different yet very the same heavenly light from above. The street lamp light has been replaced with, and is now like a cleaner, like whiter light from a more energy efficient bulb.
And energy efficiency.
Yeah. The image that befalls you as you look up to the source of the light is a very scrawny, humanoid shape with eyes that glow red, with an ethereal, godlike presence, holding in one hand the door to the dumpster and holding in the other hand a garbage bag. And he sets the garbage bag down, careful not to squash either of you, because he knows that, you know, possums are crazy, and he puts that down really gentle-like. And he's like, "Hey, dudes. What's up?"
I want to aim the disc shooter at him.
Whoa. Whoa, watch out, Mamacita. Don't shoot.
So in the real world, I imagine. Sorry, in the animal world, I imagine he's just shoving it and going like, "Stop that!" But like I imagine it's just like a headbutt. In the human world.
Yeah, we got layers of consciousness. Yeah, we can smash cut between the actual real animal things that are happening and the animal things that are happening on our level of understanding. Oh no, Calvin's missing. Okay, that's fine. Hey, I understand that they were kind of freaked out. I'm like really big, so like don't be too hard on them, man. I gotta take a picture of this for the gram. I'm gonna call you. And you can see a silhouetted rectangular image, a little bigger than the last one, and then a similar flash into the dumpster. I'm gonna call you Itchy, and you Scratchy. Yeah. Discovered tonight in hashtag #GoodBurgerDumpster fam, hashtag Pride Month, hashtag Gay Possums, hashtag Live Laugh Love, hashtag Thank God Ryan Reynolds is an American Dream, hashtag Screw You Ronald Reagan, and post. You guys have a nice one. I mean, man, you guys are still fighting. That's crazy. Slowly lowers the lid. Yeah, that was weird. And then you guys are alone again in the dark of the dumpster. I can't hear you. Calvin, I can't hear you. Okay.
There we go.
There we
go. My roommate came in and asked where the vacuum was. Ruby, you do not aim a weapon at one of the gods.
Does this look like it's going to do harm?
Accidentally fires it and in the ribs.
Hey, if you want to fire it, give me a what's his face? A freaking finesse roll.
God, mean.
It's a 6.
It's a 6?
Yeah.
I forgot what a 6 means.
That is.
Yes.
Is that a fail?
Yeah, yeah, it's the same as powered by the. It's the same as successes are the same as monster of the week.
Okay.
I'm completely
Need a
blanking.
7. You need a 7. It's a fail.
It's a fail. Okay.
Yeah.
So you
Successes start at 7.
gotcha. Okay. You shoot this disc and it ricochets off the side of the dumpster, and it kind of pops up really high and spins almost like in the air for almost an impossible amount of time, and then it comes right back down and gonks you right on the head, Ruby.
Oh, she got gone.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt.
See? Little stars and birds.
1920s cartoon stars and birds.
And those birds are cops. Anyway. Anyway.
Little police birds.
I think that's the end of the ritual. If you want to go back in.
For the record, who's claimed Itchy and who's claimed Scratchy?
You know, I was just gonna let that be. I was just gonna let, because I don't know if we're gonna keep them.
I mean, those are forever your good burger names, so...
I guess I will be Itchy, because
You can still go as one if you want.
Yeah.
She is the one who scratches, so...
You were the one who scratched in his presence, though.
You make a fair point.
He didn't specify though, so we can choose.
Yeah, we are deciding, because he didn't say which one was which to us.
I got it, yeah.
Yeah,
Do
unless it
you
was like
want to
he's
be
pointing.
Scratchy, then?
I suppose so.
Alright, I kinda... I mean,
I'm
I'll
not
save
gonna
that,
do the voice.
obviously. Yeah, listen, I'm still just going with vaguely Italian, so
Yeah.
I'm committed to that, whatever that ends up being every episode.
Fair enough. So you guys exit the dumpster?
Yeah, we'll go back to the ceremony.
You go back through the shimmering glass and gum tunnel back into the park, into the rectory of the Church of Good Burger, where you're meted by your father. My children, what names has the red-eyed one bestowed upon you?
Call me Scratchy.
I'm Itchy, I guess.
Itchy and Scratchy! What wonderful names! If you choose to keep them, I don't care. What's important now is that you two get baptized.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll use mine in the church, I guess.
Sure. And he takes you both by a hand each and leads you back out towards everyone else. Again, it's a long procession of people carefully keeping a small morsel of the Mountain Dew solution in their hands and dumping it gingerly into the collected pool. Now, if I could have some assistance from you, Mr. Detective Morrison, Morrigan, and you, Don Chunky, if you could each take one of my two lovely children and help them become baptized within the church. It's very easy, Mr. Morgan. You hold by the shoulder, and you hold it by the grasping of the hands, or like this, and he shows you how to do it. And he takes his place like up in front of the DVD of the Nickelodeon made-for-TV movie, Good Burger, that stands like right in front of this great big plastic serving dish. Now I baptize you in the name of Good Burger, home of the Good Burger. You may now give me your order. And we see our two possum friends get dunked in the Mountain Dew solution and raised back up. It's a sweet, bubbly, stingy liquid that got in your eyes, nose, and mouth.
That cannot be good for your eyes, surely.
Absolutely not. It stings for a little bit. Yeah, absolutely.
Aggressively sneezing.
I'm just picturing sneezing into a pool of holy water, because that's the real world analog. Oh shit.
I also like the concept of a real world analog being that the holy water burns your eyes when you get
No, you should be getting baptized.
it stings.
What did I do?
Is that supposed to happen?
Oh, don't worry, my children, don't worry. The baptism is complete. You are now official, recognized members of the Church of Good Burger, an honorable, he's looking right at you, Ruby, an honorable organization of critters dedicated to the service and respect of humans and their stuff. He's like, at this point, he's like an inch and a half away from your face. Go forth! Go forth and be the good burger that you want to see in the world.
The best burger.
No, I don't want your best. I just want you to be good. Alright? Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you so much for coming. We've got cookies and we've got juice over at the front there if you want to have a little bit of a refresher before you go about your day. Thank you so much, Detective Morgan, for coming, and Don Chunky. It was a pleasure. I enjoyed this very thoroughly. I like seeing young people do good in the world, just like, and he puts his hand on you, Chewie. Like my nephew here, he's a good businessman and a fine chef. You should come to the restaurant at some point. He'll make you something very nice. Oh, that would be lovely. Wouldn't it, Ruby?
Yes, it would be very lovely.
I have to make sure she does have something in her hand she is being distracted by. It's just,
Ruby, pay attention.
Just shoot her, of course, but...
Pay attention.
Hey!
But what am I supposed to do with this thing?
You keep it as a symbol of your devotion to the virtues of Good Burger.
Okay.
Same with your
I
Dakota
already put the
ring.
ring on. I already put it on. I've been wearing it.
It's very nice. It's a very good Dakota ring. Yeah. I wonder what secrets it'll be.
What does it decode, Father?
Oh, you know the gifts from the humans, mighty in their wisdom. They change with the season. There's no discernible way for me to know. If you want, you can try and do a cunning check, as to maybe discern something.
I think I'm a little cunning. I'm not. I'm charming is what I'm a little charming is what I am. So let me just roll them dice. This cat really wants to be on my lap, but she's very distracting. She's currently sitting, like, leaned up, or with her front paws on my leg, waiting for me to give her space. 8 even.
8 even. So that's like a mixed success?
Yeah. Yeah, again, it's the same results as, Monster.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I'm still blanking on it.
7 to 9 is a mixed success.
7 to 9 is a mixed success. Yeah, you're gonna. I might have to be reminded of that for the foreseeable future. It's cool. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it's. I mean, it's human English, which is ostensibly the language you speak, and read and write. I mean, some of the symbols are a little different, but with that kind of cunning, you can like kind of tell which symbols are different between animal English and human English, and such. So it's you can see there's numbers on. I've recognized numbers on one side of the ring and letters on the other side of the ring.
Interesting.
Yeah. And that's about it. The center wheel spins. That's pretty cool. Totally not distracting whatsoever. But yeah, it is nighttime and New Rodensburg is a bustling with activity, especially since a good number of the congregation has been let out from this service. You guys have literally everything and anything in this little rodentia at your disposal to do for the time being. If there's a place you want to go and explore and ask questions to any of the NPCs that are part of your backstory or whatever, now would be the time to do it. If anyone has an idea of what they want to do, may they speak now.
I want to tell Chickadee that I got baptized.
Oh, you meet Chickadee right outside the door of the Church of Good Burger, and he's kind of sitting there. He's kind of got a mohawk deal going on, and he's wearing... He looks pretty out of place, because the aesthetic around him is all 1920s, but he is rocking England punk right now. Right now. So he's got a mohawk, and he's got, like, a schoolboy uniform that's kind of battered and whatnot. It's like, so they've actually made you do it!
Yeah, we did.
Now you gotta be some kind of respected member of society?
Yeah, that's what they want.
Eh. What kind of garbage did you get?
I got this little, harmless shooter thing.
Huh! He looks at it. So, what is this, plastic?
Yeah.
This is kind of lame. I mean,
it would hurt if you threw it hard enough at someone.
Oh, sure, yeah. You stick it, I don't know, stick it to a wall, then you'd have a circle on the wall, maybe. Just, I don't know, freaking throw this little U-type thing over a string and use it as a zip line, maybe?
Maybe?
It's just... You got garbage.
Yeah, it was all garbage. This was just more interesting garbage.
I mean, interesting. So what do you got planned? I got nothing planned. I was just, this is the height of what I wanted to do today. See you at the end of all this, still sticky with what the heck did they dunk you in? What is this? It's very sweet. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, it's really sweet and greenish.
Greenish?
Yeah.
Did they dunk you in piss? I mean, it doesn't smell like piss.
No, it's definitely not piss, and it...
I said from the window nearby, you see like a muted, it's holy water, the blessed just as I'm staring knives at
just through a window? You want to get lost?
I'm not seeing anything, except for that.
You want to get lost? I heard a couple of birds were gonna get into a fight down by the freaking frisbee golf course.
Yeah, there's just nothing punk about disc golf. It's hard to take in.
So what do you say? You gonna be a respected member of society? You wanna go watch some birds fight?
Yeah. I don't know what they're expecting from me. They want me to be good.
Yeah, good burger, yeah. What is good? Come walk with me, talk with me. This is an old trick that Chester Chickadee does all the time. He just walk with me, talk with me when he's like sick of you not making a decision.
He's directly into crime.
Right into crime.
Yeah, I instinctually follow him.
What is
Damn it.
good?
God damn it.
I guess that's where Ruby's going. Anyone else have a thing? I know that Chewy's probably gotta get back to the restaurant. He's got stuff to do. I'm gonna save that for a little bit. What does Detective Sam Morgan and freaking Itchy want to do?
Just call me Ronnie.
Ronnie.
I actually think that Ronnie is trying to get ahead of whatever crime that she's about to commit, so he's making his way to the detective agency. Just
give me a cunning check to try to. Let's see. I want you and Ruby to make opposing cunning checks.
Yeah, like I'm outsmart her after years of covering her up.
Yes.
Okay. One of these, a 6, 7, 8. 8 again.
Ooh. No. That's what, another 6? Yes. No. That is a 4.
That indeed.
Oh, you got a 4.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oofers.
So yeah, Ronnie gets a little stealthy on ya, manages to evade your gaze as he's tailing you. Something that he's actually, given your history, he has every right to be pretty good at.
Get up here. It's fine.
Ah, kitty.
No.
You follow.
I'm just gonna let her kind of focus on it.
You follow Chester Chickadee and your sister to the first hole of the Frisbee golf course. It is a battered, paint-chipped metal thing, surrounded, started by stray cats, some birds, a couple of raccoons are here as well. Like the scrawnier, like more shiftless raccoon mob figures that are like taking bets on a piece of cardboard. And so that's what those three are doing. What are you up to, detective?
Let's see. Well, for one, being in the church is not his favorite place to be, especially with this many raccoons around.
Fair enough.
He's not in well with the raccoon mob. He's polite with them, but there is a tension, especially when there's that many around. So he's gonna take off pretty much as soon as the ceremony's done. Just kind of loosen up the tie and take off. Is this like a day off for him?
I mean, all signs indicate less shenanigans to be happening tonight.
I'm saying, like, usually, like, bigger religious ceremonies are on, like, a holy day. Like, be like a Sunday afternoon. I just don't know if it'd be something that would be, like, is he gonna take the time to go and do some personal business, or is this like a work day?
This is definitely this is like one of the rare personal days that you let yourself have.
All right.
Crime never takes a day off.
Crime never. Justice never sleeps.
He just mumbles that to himself, stutters and all. Yeah, crime never. Justice never sleeps. Yeah.
Justice never sleeps. He puts the collar up. No, so the first thing that he's going to do is that he's going to take the afternoon, like a nice beautiful day, to go and check out the crime scene from where the feathers were originally.
Yeah.
And he's
all those years ago. It's almost the anniversary.
He's going to pick a dandelion on the way, and for him, I guess the dandelion would be like an umbrella, yeah.
But
it would be plentiful, and he would just he'd go over and pay his respects in the afternoon. But the thing that's been itching on his mind has been the cats, the stray cats, and I think he's trying to figure out where they're, like, what the tie-in is at this point, because there's got to be something that connects them to the raccoons, and he thinks that that's the tie-in that he's looking for, but he's not sure where it is yet.
Yeah, do you have like some kind of skill or ability that aids in figuring things out in some capacity?
Let's see.
If not, I'm just gonna have you roll cunning.
Well, I have a plus in cunning, so that helps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have none of the feats and like moves are kind of like investigative. A lot of them are just like combat specific. But I could just roll cunning on it.
Sure. Just looking for any thread.
And this is roll 2, right?
Yes.
2d6.
Yes, 2d6. Then add your stat.
Oof. That's a 5. That's a 5 and a 6 plus a 1, so that's a 12.
Ooh,
Great success on it.
That is a fabulous success.
Oh.
Love to see it. Love to see it.
Wow.
That's what gets me going in the morning.
Mm.
He says it.
Something occurs. Something occurs to you as you are standing or sitting on the fountain in the center, at the center of New Rodensburg, the place where the body of your partner was found. Something occurs to you, like something. What could possibly connect the stray cats to the raccoons? Well, a lot of strays, they used to be housers, did they? Some strays have connections to humans still, even if they aren't housed by them. You know, some humans you've seen, and you've you know, on an off day, on a day where money's kibble has been a little tight, you've taken your fair share of bits from taking your fair share of kibs from these little dishes some of the humans lay out for stray cats. That would be a great way that certain unsavory elements might use to launder kibs into the little Rodensburg economy. Might even be a really good way to create an artificial scarcity of kibs. Because if you know where to store it where it won't be touched, and you can control where it can't be touched, you can squirrel things away. In a manner of speaking. Obviously, the squirrels have nothing to do with this. The squirrels are too busy running their newspaper. But it is strange that none of the crimes that the raccoons ever commit they never end up in the Oak Tree Gazette. That has always been something that's gnawed at you. If only there was a place where you knew raccoons and cats could come together and talk about stuff like this, put plans like this into motion. And then you hear the sweet, sweet sound of jazz. Jazz coming from one of the most popular restaurants in New Rodensburg. Gesundheit. Jazz.
You don't know everything.
Jazz coming from the Spoon. Owned by the Raccoon Mob, operated by Chewy Raccoon. And you can hear an announcer as the door of the Spoon swings open. Ladies and gentlemen, returning to the stage, the stray that won't go away, that crooning calico, Dandy Jack, welcome to the stage. Jazz, stray cats, raccoons, good food. If there's a connection, if there are alliances and deals being made, the Spoon is where it's at.
I think I'm gonna have to sneak my way into the Spoon.
Dum, 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 dum. Okay, I guess this would be finesse. Just to try to enter as a cop bird into a den of raccoons and cats, as it were.
So I do have a feat for sneaking.
Excellent. I'd love to hear it.
I don't know how that plays into this this rule set.
Could you
So
read
there's
it?
a move called Attempt to Roguish Feat, where you roll your finesse. On a hit, you achieve your goal. On a 7 to 9, you mark exhaustion or take one risk to get the thing to succeed. There's a list of risks for each skill.
Yeah,
So
it's
for
page
sneaking,
19.
that's yeah. Thank you, Mus.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I've got
I'm
it
gonna
open
roll.
right now.
I'm gonna roll finesse on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of the skills and moves within Roots are like things that trigger based off of roleplay things that are happening. I cannot possibly remember them all. So if you guys could remember the things that trigger your own,
Page 19.
yeah. I'm just saying, just for future reference, if you guys could remember what triggers your own ability, so that I don't have to keep track of them, that would be a huge help. So yeah, what did you roll for finesse?
We're gonna find out right now.
Boom.
Oh boy, that's a 7.
It's a 7. Okay. Mark an exhaustion, or do you want to mark exhaustion, or do you want to take on some kind of risk in order to sneak in?
I think this is very much a risk situation. It's one of those ones where he's not going undercover, but he is trying to blend in.
Gotcha.
So this would put him into a situation where there is some risk involved.
Yeah.
It says here for sneak, it's you have break something, draw unwanted attention, plunge into danger.
Plunge into danger. You try to enter. Well, do you? I'll give you a couple points of egress. Do you want to enter the main entrance, or do you want to try to get into the back? Get in through the back.
Let's say we're gonna try to get in through the back.
Okay. By going in through the back, you enter through the backstage door. The backstage door. Well, it's the same door. It's down this alleyway where you encountered Ruby those 2 times for those various crimes and whatnot, and it's that same door. The door opens, and you see a team of raccoons led by Chewie doing just, fast-paced cooking. The spoon is hopping tonight. There are a lot of hungry critters in here. And Chewie's got it down into a militaristic kind of 2, 3, 4 kind of music that's going on inside of there. And then to the other side, you see the backstage where there is a bunch of, there's a bunch of musical instruments just kind of not being used. And then, of course, there's the front stage where you see this slender, pinstriped, notch-lapelled wearing kind of real fedora, not like this hipster trilby bullshit. Wearing Calico Cat, just crooning his little sexy heart out on the stage. And as you make your way back and around the stage, trying to duck down, trying to make use of your natural camouflage in this dark environment because you are a crow, you trip on the leg of one of the drums in the drum set. And the drum set, the snare falls over.
Oof. Oh man, it would be so funny if I just picked up an instrument and tried to start playing it.
Finesse. That would be finesse.
I'm supposed to be here.
That would be finesse. It is jazz.
Yeah, listen.
Anything goes.
I used to play it.
It's all about the notes you don't play, so you just sit there silently making jazz.
That's a 5.
That's a 5. Yeah, you tip the snare over, and very quickly try to pull it back up and just kind of rap at it a little bit with your feathers, getting a kind of muted. I used to play percussion.
Like those little whisk,
little whisk brushes things. And it's like it is even for jazz, terribly syncopated and out of tune, and you get this kind of mean feline scowl by the crooner, looking back at you. He's like, "What are you? There's a woman out there."
Jazz.
Everything's fine. You didn't see anything.
And the drummer, this drummer is a squirrel. He snatches the snare from your feathery hands and just kind of gives you a side-eye glance, and as he starts tapping along, just kind of getting back on track. As you continue to slink around the stage to get into the main crowd area, you see yourself get clocked by Don Chunky, who is sitting in his booth way in the back and center.
Damn. That's the one pair of eyes I didn't want to see on me tonight.
Well, it shouldn't have rolled a 5.
Yep.
Don Chunky, you notice, is sitting with his brother and the leader and Ron, Jack of the Box, leader of the Church of Goodburger, as he was invited. And they're having laughs and a couple of drinks. And as you lose track of that booth for a second as you pass through a crowd, and somehow in the half second where you've lost visual confirmation of where Don Chunky was sitting, he has miraculously vanished. And it's just Nibbles and Jack of the Box left in that booth, which is strange because Don Chunky was sitting in the center of the booth. How does he just disappear? He's enormous.
Very light on his feet for a big fella. That's not good. I think this investigation might have to be cut short, because if I know anything about Don Chunky, I don't want to be here. So I think I'm going to try and figure out a place to hide backstage until I can get some cover to make my way out.
Yeah, so you can Okay. So like as we established in in the session 0, everyone's arm, torso, leg proportions are that of a human. Those human proportions are scaled to the average height of your species. So, as a crow, you are rather short, but you still have human proportions. You can either, one, duck underneath the stage, which is like a solid foot, just 1 foot off the ground. One, animal relativistic foot off the ground. Or you can try to shimmy up the ropes that pull the curtain up to where, up in the fly, that's what it's called in stagecraft.
Yeah, we're going up.
Going up in the fly?
You're going up. Crows don't go underground.
Yeah, you're a crow. It's super easy for you to shimmy up. I mean, you can't, like, fly in this environment, but, up is a more comfortable direction, obviously.
Yeah. Up can get me towards, like, maybe like a skylight or something where I can...
Yeah, something like that, yeah. You look around, you're on one of the bars, the big metal bars, tubes, that holds the kind of curtainy trim that hangs over the top of the stage area. And you do see, like a latched latched skylight, this kind of glass skylight, but it's been painted black to keep light from coming in during the daytime. Since the raccoons came in into this property, they've been trying to maintain a nightlife atmosphere throughout all the time of the day and in the night and whatnot. So it's pretty easy to undo that latch and get out through the top. And now you're on top of the spoon. Do you book it somewhere else, or do you hang back near the skylight opening to see if someone has come and looked for you?
Yeah, I'm hanging by the skylight. So at this point, it's going to be I'm waiting to see if somebody else spotted me, or if he's sending anybody after me. But I'm also trying to figure out if nothing's happening, I might either be able to go back in or pick up some information from where I'm perched at the moment.
Nice.
Bird pun.
I love bird puns. Wait, is there? What's this game's version of inspiration? Is there that?
If there is a...
I was gonna ask about what happens when you fail a roll too. Is there like experience too?
There's exhaustion, I believe, when you fail.
Is it? Okay.
It's either injury or exhaustion. I think exhaustion is when you use one of your moves, and I think injury is what happens when you fail, depending on the circumstance. So you are just kind of like low to the roof, looking in through the crack in this skylight, and you see like one wife beater wearing multiple ear piercing raccoon kind of slip back through the stage door and give a quick look around to see anything. Clearly, he doesn't really care about his job because it didn't scrutinize the location too well, but clearly he was sent to check to see if anyone who wasn't supposed to be here was in here. You can see him, like, tap the drummer on the shoulder and ask if he saw anyone, and the drummer is like, in a minute, I gotta play jazz drums, man.
Alright, so, as soon as that raccoon kind of dips back away, I'm just going to pop back in towards just inside the skylight, where I can kind of sit up in the rafters and see if I can listen in and figure out where any sort of deals would be going on in this place. If my hunch is correct, which was that they were laundering kibs through the restaurant, I need to figure out where Don Chunky may have gone. Maybe he's got a secret meeting location, and watch for any sort of like stray cats or anything that might be slinking around into a location that he would be in.
Yeah. You sit up there for a couple of songs into Dandy Jack's set. You know, real bangers of like old-timey jazz. Just uproarious applause. They sound like a pack of wild animals down there. And you notice that some of the cats and some of the raccoons along with their like their normal little satchels filled with kibs, and you know, the occasional biscuit that's used to pay for some of these meals. Some of these raccoons and stray cats, they're also, like, with the check, sending poker playing cards. There's no real, it's not really discernible what each house or value of the card means, but some of them, that's just something weird. That's something that, I mean, why would they do that? What is the significance of that? But that's something that you pick up from your stakeout, more or less.
Right, I'm gonna take some notes on that. And,
you see.
I think it's getting too risky to sit in here much longer, though.
Yeah, you see a Queen of Hearts, you see an Ace of Spades, you see a Seven of Diamonds. Just there's no reason or rhyme to these playing cards, but they are being handed to the waiter along with the payment. And after there's like one of the waiters that's like clearly new. You can see that they like almost spill a huge tray of drinks a couple of times, and the first time that this waiter gets handed a playing card along with the bill, he kind of looks at it confused and then looks back at the customer, and after a second, the customer kind of snatches back the playing card and slides it back into like their coat pocket, and as he gives them like a stink eye. And that new waiter kind of goes back into the back there.
All right. So they're handing out. It's kind of like a calling card for
something
whatever
like
shady
that.
business. Yeah.
Something
All
like
right,
that.
all
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I'm gonna take that, and we're gonna look into that further, and we're gonna dip out of this place for tonight.
Yeah, you exit the ceiling light. That big window in the sky.
Mood.
The skylight. You exit the skylight.
I'm gonna break the latch on there, on the skylight, just in case, because this could be a way, now that I know that this is here, that I can get back into this building.
Yeah, smart. You break that. You turn around. You take a. You know. I'm gonna end the day here, kind of. Sigh. When you look back up at the beautiful night sky, surrounded by the skyline that is basically just the outside wall of the park. That's our beautiful skyline there. You see a very tall, slender, kind of hunched over figure, and your brain can hardly make heads and or tails of it, because there's a part of your brain that goes, that's human. There's a part of your brain that goes, that's not human. And there's a part of your brain that goes, that's human. And there's a part of your brain that goes, that's not human. And your perception of this thing is flipping back and forth. When your brain starts to think it's more human, it takes an appearance of a very tall, quadrupedal animal with antlers. And when your brain goes, that's not human, it takes the form of every other creature that is here in the park. And at what point your brain's like, wait a minute, that's a human. Your brain is struggling to make sense of this. I need you go ahead and roll luck for me.
Okay. Oof. Do I have any? I have no luck.
No luck.
Ain't that? That's gonna be a 6.
That's a 6.
Oof.
Still
no luck.
You're looking at this thing. You are holding on to your sanity at the sight of this thing by a thread. The thing that is keeping you in the moment is the mystery of the thing. You have to figure out what this is. It may drive you insane, but you don't care. This is huge. And you see this lumbering thing. You see this lumbering, scrawny thing kind of gallop and stride past the great big oak tree where the Oak Tree Gazette where the Oak Tree Gazette gets written by the squirrels and distributed, past the Vietnam Memorial where the birds make their police department home, and towards the various chain holes of the Frisbee golf course. Ronnie, Ruby,
Yes.
and Chester Chickadee are all part of this crowd that is encircling one of these holes in the golf course, in the Frisbee golf course. Obviously, it is, a paint-chipped metal kind of thing that's stuck into the ground. It's got chain thing where the frisbee go in and it goes to jingling, and you got the good job thing. What you see inside of that is a pair of birds. It's a freaking it's a cardinal and a raven just going at it, just fighting each other it's like a cage match more or less. And we got a few stray cats, like I said, some really scrawny, really seedy looking raccoons who have been taking bet and score and whatnot. And you three are beholden to this just senseless violence, honestly. Well, Chester Chickadee's having a grand old time.
Yeah, so, any idea what started this?
Oh, I have no idea.
It is really funny.
Freaking birds! You guys will scrap over anything!
Especially scraps.
I did not realize there was going to be this much weird animal racism. They had to invent new forms of racism for this story.
Speciesism?
Speciesism. Speciesism, yeah.
Yeah.
There is a bit of commotion. You can feel a different kind of energy ripple through the crowd. Ronnie, you're not standing right next to your sister, are you?
I'm significantly behind them, yes.
Yeah. You're kind of... You look like the energy that I get from Ronnie in this zone is like a really pious monk at a dogfight who's just there despite the chaos that surrounds him. He's just there. He's
not saying anything. He's just silent.
You're getting side-eyed. You're getting looked over, but they're like, I mean, if he's not causing any problems, I guess he can be here. You are one of the first people to feel the energy shift within the crowd, and you're one of the first to really zero in on the kind of shifting of the crowd as it starts to disperse. Go ahead and give me a luck roll. You too, Ruby. Give me a luck roll.
Okay.
2.
2.
2.
That's a
4.
12.
That's a 12. Okay. Ronnie, you see... That's like a really bad failure, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. You see everyone... Gotcha. You see everyone... You feel everyone's energy shift from just elated, cantankerous, revelry over violence, to Cthulian level madness, as the crowd just shifts and starts to run in a sort of pack like a kind of riot kind of pack kind of riot mentality kind of washes over you, and everyone starts to just book it in one direction, and you succumb to that panicked feeling, and you also run in that same direction. Ruby, when you feel the energy of this crowd change, you look towards where everyone is looking in terror, and your brain sees a lumbering figure. It is tall, like a human. It is wearing a black suit. It is wearing a black jacket. It is wearing a black hat. 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 but it is not a human. Your brain is telling you this is an animal. This is not a human. It operates on the same wavelength as you, but it is very tall, and it is a tall thing that has the human proportions because you are perceiving it as a human, but it is tall like a human, but it's not a human. It's got large 8-point antlers on its head, and it's hunched over as if it's been shot. And as you are contemplating these things, Ronnie, you run right into your sister, like smack that on. You both take 1 injury.
That's fine. I have an extra health piece because of my ability. I'm big and tough.
Yeah, so Ruby, you have your completely spooked sibling here to take care of now.
What are you doing here?
Oh, how the turntable. How do you accent with a panic? I was just trying to keep an eye on you. I didn't want you to immediately get back into trouble, and then all of a sudden, this fucking thing.
Yeah, this thing's new.
Surprisingly chill all the time.
Yeah,
Almost like she's committed arson for amounts of times.
This tall, slumped over, antlered thing rests a hand on the hole of the Frisbee golf course and kind of takes a breath, takes a few more steps, and then sits down, sits down with its back up against a nearby tree. The birds that were scrapping within the hole have finally taken notice, and they book the fuck out of there.
What is that? You know?
Nope, but I'm going to go find out.
Hey!
Alright. He's a protective brother, so he's going to spook as shit follow behind her.
Would you consider this danger?
This is, certainly... It certainly feels like it. It's certainly new and scary.
Okay, then I want to use Daredevil. I get luck armor with 1 point of wear when I jump headlong into danger.
Fair enough. I like that. That's super cool. You approach this creature. It is an 8-point buck. It is as tall as an 8-point buck would be in our world, to us humans, but it has the human proportions, the same as every other animal, that is, on our level of consciousness that we operate on. Its frame is slender and long. Its head is pointed. It's got a stout snout. It's got pained and brooding, beautiful blue eyes, dressed in, like, druidic fur, and around its neck hang several talisman in runes that look mystical but have no meaning to you. It's kind of got a kind of furred shawl, wearing patched pant work, kind of a little bit of like a tight corset around his abdomen. He is pressing on his abdomen with his hands, and there is blood coming out of it. He takes long, deep, pained breaths. There is darkness surrounding him. There is also a bathingness. He's also bathed in moonlight. He is beautiful. All right, this is a hot deer. All right,
It's a hot deal.
This is a hot. This is a hot. This is like Louis from Beastars, if he was a pagan priest, like a pagan warlock.
So the what up my furries.
Just a druidic pagan warlock deal. But like I said, he's got these beautiful blue eyes that kind of.
Have we seen a deer before? Do we know what they are?
You have no idea what a deer is.
My face.
Okay.
Just to confirm, he does in fact have eyes.
He does in fact have human. Like I said, he's got human. He's got a deer head. He's got a deer face. He's got deer antlers and ears. He's got deer feetses. But his torso, arm, leg proportion to head is that of everyone else on our level of consciousness, which is the animal level of consciousness, which is where the discrepancy between which is where the discrepancy that Morrigan's brain had, because it's tall like a human, but when you started looking at it like a human, it looked like what it really was on a human level, which is a deer, which looks very different, which is on 4 legs. But it's like, no, that's not a human. Yeah. That's an animal. But if it's an animal, it looks like us, which means it looks like this, which is tall and looks like a human. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
It fucked you up a little bit.
Yes. The moonlight reflects beautifully in his eyes, and he's got this kind of pouting, pained expression on his face as he keeps applying pressure to this bullet wound in his gut as you guys approach him.
Hey, you look like you need help.
Yes. Who said that?
Oh, you didn't hear us?
I did.
Yeah. What? Hello.
I climb up on the bench.
He's not. There's no bench. He's leaned up against a tree.
Oh.
He's on the ground. He's leaned up against a tree.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Hello.
You can hear us. Are you okay?
My essence is leaking out through my stomach, so I would say not.
Your essence?
Huh.
And he switches hands and he holds out a bloody hand to you, my life. It
That's
claims
just
to
blood.
Yeah, we call it blood here.
Okay, whatever it is, I know I can't lose too much of it or I'm going to die.
I
You make a
know some
compelling act.
doctors.
You, doctor? Do you know of any shaman?
We've got a church. Is that close enough?
I don't think I can go any further than this.
Okay, guess you'll die.
What are you? Also unrelated to that.
What am I? I am.
What are you?
I am a deer. I am one of the chosen voices of the wild cull. My name is Thrall Abdul.
Do you have a concept of, like, wild animals at all?
You are wild animals.
No, yeah, but you know what I mean. Any non-park animals.
I mean, your whole world is this park, if that's what you're asking. Animals that you have yet to see within the confines of the walls of this park are alien and foreign to you.
Okay, but we don't know, like, they exist. As far as we're concerned, the world ends at the edge of the park.
As far as you're concerned, the world kind of fades into nothingness a few houses into the neighborhood that surrounds the park.
You must forgive us, but there's not any deer here. We've never met someone like you before. In fact, you're the largest thing I've ever seen outside of a human.
Human. It is them who put this bead of hate into my side.
humans did this to you.
Yes, it is all they do.
Why would they do that? They just eat and throw stuff out, and then we eat the stuff they throw out.
Yeah, what she said. Ruby, can I have a quick moment with you alone?
Sure.
As his bleeding out in front of
Yeah, Morgan, at this point you arrive, and of course, at the scene of this incredibly disturbing and crazy event is, of course, these two numbnuts.
Oh, shit. Every goddamn time.
I swear we actually had nothing to do with this one. Normally...
Now that you're close enough to this thing, you understand that it is an animal. Your brain has made up its mind. This thing is an animal. But it's
I'd like
big.
to call Ruby for a private conversation.
Holy fuck,
Yes.
what the hell are you?
I'm a deer?
We're gonna get back to that. Are you hurt? Holy shit, you're bleeding. You're bleeding a lot.
He lifts out his hand, and there is a hole in his stomach the size of Detective Morgan's head.
Oh, hey, that's not great. Hey, kids, any of you guys got something you can plug them up for a time being? This is real bad. This is real bad.
Are we still next to him, or we just wandered out for a private conversation?
I don't know if, it'd be funnier if you just left him and he's, like, talking to himself now.
Oh, shit. Everyone's like...
Thank God!
Whispering to each other.
Son of a bitch. Every goddamn time.
Away again!
Hey, big fella, what's your name?
I am Thrall.
What do they call you?
I am Thrall Abdul. Speaker, chosen speaker of the Wild Call.
One more time. Let's pretend you got a real name. Say it again.
Thrall Abdul. Thrall.
Okay. We're you gotta give me a minute. I ain't never seen nothing like you before.
Abdul.
Right?
Those.
So at this point,
do you understand me?
I can understand you, but you gotta listen, man. I'm looking at him, and he is the size of I am like his shin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's like, I ain't never seen nothing like you before. This is.
I have seen many birds, but none have been as rude as you.
That's fair. That's honestly fair. That's on me. That's honestly fair. Oh, shit. Man, okay, hang on. I'm gonna give me a second. I'm gonna kind of scrounge around for in this world I'd be wearing
A trench coat,
people clothes, yeah.
You'd be wearing people clothes tailored to you. So you can shove your whole trench coat into his wound.
I am shoving my whole trench coat into the wound to try to plug it up. Like, this might sting. You want to bite down on it. Like, I'm going to put a stick in his mouth. Bite down on it. You're going to want to bite down on it.
Yeah, he bites down on the stick and, mostly snaps. Mostly snaps in his mouth. But yeah, you stick the trench coat right in his wound, and he stings like a motherfucker.
Hey, can you walk? Are you good?
I need respite for a while. The call had sent me quite a ways away before I returned to my senses, and only then did I find this place where I hoped I could escape the humans.
Well, joke's on you, bud. This is not exactly human safe, but sit tight, because they don't come around here too much at night. Chill for a minute, all right? We're gonna see if we can get you help. I'm gonna take off, and I'm gonna go to. Where would I go in this town to help someone who's bleeding to death?
Well, I had not considered a hospital situation yet, but here we go. Aha. Yeah, there's a a 1920s hospital. It's not the best. It's 1920s medicine, but it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. It's a it's like an old pile of liquor boxes that has like a red cross painted on it. Inside is a stray that everyone calls Miss Missy. She is a white cat. A white cat, and she is making her rounds with her clipboard, giving like various patients that are her size, like normal residents of New Rodensburg, little mixtures of various little green things. Like she has a knack for herbalism and such, and of course booze. She's already serving a booze to every single one of her patients to keep them calm, keep them satiated, and keep them calm. Disinfect them from the inside.
So are you going on your own, or are you bringing the deer with you?
Oh, the deer needs to rest.
Yeah, he said that he needs to chill, so I was like...
The thing I need to talk to Ruby about would mean I would stop him if he tried to take the deer with them. So I just want to make sure.
No, so I would say that at this point I'm flying off to try and find Miss Missy.
Yeah.
And at that point, I'm leaving the deer alone.
Yeah. So do you want to do a thing?
You.
Okay.
Hey, Ruby, I don't know if we're thinking this through. I don't know if we should help this guy. Did you hear what he said? The humans did this to him. And if the humans are uniquely good, and they're hurting something that they want to die, doesn't sound like that thing is good and shouldn't be near. What if this is literally the devil?
Yeah, that does make no sense whenever you say it like that.
Turns out you think so religious lens suddenly.
Yeah, so maybe this guy did something to hurt the humans. Those things on his head are pretty gnarly looking.
They look like they could kill. So it's 8 point bug. 8
points,
different things at once.
That's 4 points per horn.
Yeah. Think of the stabbing power of that head. I don't know about this guy. I'm worried, and I feel like old bird boy, Sam Morgan. That's his name. I can't remember. Was just so ready to help this guy when I think he might be spelling trouble if we let him stay.
Yeah, no, I maybe we should chase him away. Do you think we can do that?
I don't know. We are like a quarter of his size at best.
I have my ways.
Things out a little lighter and an almost empty can of Axe body spray.
Yeah, I could set fire to the tree.
Oh my god. Can we think of one idea that doesn't involve arson?
No, because if I use needlessly destructive methods, I can clear exhaustion.
You do not say that in character.
I feel really good when I light shit on fire, alright?
Okay.
That's the translation into character.
Don't take this away from me. This gives me joy.
Let me feel my joy, alright?
Yeah.
Only just pecking around. Do you really want to light something up? We are the only people here.
Okay, so I am a roguish feat sneak around the tree and set it
You
on
do this.
fire.
I'm not gonna have you roll for it because he is more or less gone into a blood loss coma.
Okay.
If you're about to light a fucking deer on fire, I'm asking you.
No. I'm lighting the tree the deer is leaning on fire.
She's going from arson to murder real quick.
Really fast, yeah. So you go around the side of the tree here, and you're about to spark up this match when you are bathed in yellow light. From the entrance of the park, you see one of the humans' boxy metal conveyances roll up to the entrance to the park, and you see a human in a bright orange robe step out and reach down to the ground and peel something off of the ground and kind of rub it in his fingers and give it a smell. And Watt looks, and you can see that in a semi-straight line from where the human is to where you are, there is a trail of deer blood. And the human in this orange robe is out at night, which is weird. Humans, usually it's the young humans that are out at night and they're, more like gods of chaos and they're doing crazy things. But this human has the stench of 1,000 dead animals surrounding him and his aura. This is
uniquely terrifying.
And so you are like a tiny flame of chaos looking at an enormous burning pillar of the death of the universe. To put it in a metaphysical comparison. How does Ruby react to this situation?
I'm assuming the stench of dead animals is not a good thing in this case.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Put it into human terms. What if you smelt on someone that they had killed 1,000 people? Would you feel good about being in the same room as them? No.
It's like looking at Patrick Bateman.
Jesus.
It's like some anime aura coming off of him.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm picturing it as like a purple smoke that's just gonna
miasma.
It's like it's like whenever in some comics where Carnage is depicted.
Oh yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
That's what I imagine it looks like to us with our nose
with our nose-based aura vision.
The corruption and tears of the kingdom.
Hell yeah.
Ugh. Is it called corruption in that one? I think it's called gloom.
It's
Corruption's Breath of the
It's
Wild.
Wallmasters, whatever.
It's different source.
Yeah, it's same source but different source.
Same source, different sauce. Anyway.
Yeah.
There we go. There it is.
yeah, we go.
Anyway, what do you do, little flicker of chaos?
Roddy, hide!
I played dead.
You played dead. Good job.
I'm a bastard.
It's at the entirety of New Rodensburg is being lit by the yellow lights of this human's vehicular conveyance, and like boxy metal conveyance, and all of the residents are like ducking into the closest shadow, not to be seen, not to be felt, not to be heard by this just rank human being. For all intents and purposes, this is as if Ares himself just kind of took a leisurely stroll down Central Avenue, and he a lot of the buildings were just dwarfed by his shins. This human gets a couple of paces into the park when you hear another human from inside the Jeep go like, Daryl, it's past sundown. I know we technically have a duty to mercy kill it at this point, but again, the law's the law. We're not allowed to shoot anything past sundown, alright? I mean, that's the law. Sun up, sundown. That is the open window. We've been tracking it for too long now. We'll come back in the morning, alright? We'll come back in the morning. Fine! Jeez! Ever since you got married, you've been a real stick in my butt. You know that? That human that was in the park, Daryl. He walks back to the boxy metal conveyance, and the lights kind of pan out, and the whole of New Rodensburg returns to its normal lighting, but there's still an air of fear that lingers over the people, very slowly, and led by mainly younger creatures. People start to come out, start to, very quickly, trying not to show that they're panicking, walk back to their homes to try to just, it's a good time for the day to end, I think.
Yeah.
During that kind of event, Morrigan, you had made it to Miss Missy's little hospital.
Missy, you ain't gonna believe this shit.
Yeah, I've never seen an adult human like that come into the park at night.
Did you see what he was chasing into here?
No, what was that? What, do you know something I don't?
Oh, you gotta come with me. You gotta.
Who's gonna look after my people?
Grab your med kit. They'll be fine for an hour.
No, okay.
Missy. Have I ever lied to you, Missy?
Yes.
I would feel that him and a nurse would have a
pretty honest rapport. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess not.
Trust me on this one. Grab your med kit.
All right.
You're gonna need it.
All right, Morgan.
You can
Lead
see
the way.
the blood on his feathers. Like.
Holy cats!
Yeah. We gotta book it. This is not good.
Ha 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 ha.
This has been a pun game. So
I love this. I freaking love puns. All right. I'm a pun positive garbage man.
I keep forgetting we called you the garbage man instead of the GM.
Garbage man.
I'm the garbage man.
Man.
So yeah, you two, you Detective Morrison and Miss Missy are the two fastest creatures in all of New Rodensburg. A fact that does not go unnoticed by Don Chunky and by means of pointing out. Chewy, you also noticed this. Don Chunky goes, Nubbles, why don't you go investigate what that cop is going on? It's usually something big if he grabs the nurse. You might want to check it out. Brother, I am fucking tired. Chewy, it's late. You're young. I'll clean up the restaurant. You go figure out. You go check out what that is.
You muted, babe.
Sorry about that.
That's cool.
Said, sure, I'll go check it out. And he skitters off.
Yeah. Morgan, it's pretty. You're now being tailed by a raccoon. Good job.
Oh, good.
You see a raccoon in the distance.
Full mount.
How does Chewy run?
Very waddly. He's not being sneaky either. He's just like nosy. It's like, oh, cops are doing something. Let's go check it out.
The way you've characterized Chewy thus far is as if Detective Monk was just a chef instead of detective.
Oh God!
I don't know who that is.
Look up Best of Monk. Monk is a great TV show.
Oh, well, hold on. There's like 3 different voices going on.
Okay.
Good. What am I googling?
Monk was a detective show. I don't remember who the actor was, but he's really good.
Tony Shalhoub.
Tony Shalhoub. He was a detective. He was kind of type A, kind of paranoid about everything.
Oh.
Great show.
He was neurodivergent before
I'm
they
basically
actually
going
the shows, so it was a joke.
I think they had him as obsessive compulsive.
Yeah, I think that's what they went with.
I'm going for like inattentive type ADHD for the most part, and
Sure.
autism.
Fair enough.
With a little bit of hyperactive because I've got some of that myself.
Ruby,
Hey,
Ruby, how has this encounter affected you?
Well, there is the Orange Warlock of Death. So my focus is now focused on them and where they're going.
So what are you doing in service of that goal? Because that implies something, and you haven't said it explicitly.
I don't know, just like see where the light went.
Yeah. So you follow. You go. Yeah, Ronnie. You see your sister kind of scurry past the tree, and towards the entrance of the park.
Oh, fuck. So Ronnie's in a specific, unique situation where he doesn't want to leave this deer alone because he thinks he's like a devil.
Right.
But he also doesn't want his sister to leave New Rosensburg.
Right.
Do I
One
see,
direction, I'm not
off in the
trailing.
distance? Either do I see Ruby still in my distance, or do I see Detective Morgan flying in?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you see both. Yeah.
Alright, I just
Do I
kind
see Ruby taking off?
of
Ronnie, did you at any point like get up from playing dead?
I imagine after Ruby started to leave.
You kind of like got up, got like a couple paces towards
he's in
Ruby,
and
but then
out.
you were like, oh, hold on.
It's paralysis, so he can't decide which thing he wants to attend to. So
Yeah,
he's
you see Detective Morgan flying closer to where Thrall is, and followed by someone that you recognize, the neighborhood nurse, Miss Missy, and then a raccoon. Just
my
so,
fair share of bruises.
yeah. So you're like, okay, he's brought medical attention. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Whoa.
You keep saying that he's the devil.
Yeah, exactly. Whoa, Morgan, what are you doing here?
Whoa, hey. We can't just let... Something comes in the park, we can't just let it die. Hey, back off, Ronnie, this is not the time.
He said the humans were the ones trying to kill him.
Yeah, and in any good investigation, it's not our point to put down the thing that guy shot. Alright? So...
We're not trying...
Ronnie, this ain't the time, man. Like, he's got to survive. He's got to survive. We're gonna find out why he was being shot at in the first place. Then we can just kick him back out of here. It's not his home.
Have you seen how big he is? Do you think we could just kick him out? If
It's at
he's
this
small
point-
and he wants to be here. We cannot stop him.
It's at that point that Miss Missy and you, Chewie, both behold this very tall thing. Ronnie, Chewie, go ahead and give me a luck roll.
A luck roll.
Luck.
3?
3. It is you all of the everything in your brain is working at 15.5 to like figure out what this thing is, and you are just kind of frozen in analysis paralysis. You can't. Just nothing, not a fucking thing.
Gotcha.
So that's the second that you like see it. So you're like a good 10-15 feet away from it still when you first lay your eyes on it, on Thrall the Deer Man, and you rolled a 3 and you're like, you like slowed down and just kind of like, what? And that's at this point Miss Missy kind of just, she stops trying to make sense of it after a second of trying to make sense of it, and her nurse instincts kick in, and she like whips out like all of the gauze, all of the gauze, and just rushes to Thrall's side. She takes out a pair of shears from the nurse bag and like cuts a hole into his clothing so that she can properly dress the wound uninterfered. At this point, Thrall has been like passed out, like asleep from loss of blood. Got beads of his tongue is hanging out, just drooling, just trying to regulate the body temperature because the body is in shock and it's overheating. And various medical biz. While you guys have a theological exchange on what the fuck to do about this large stranger.
What do you think your plan is if it decides it doesn't want to leave? It could kill 8 of us at a time. I point up at the
horns.
The antlers.
Ronnie, you ain't got the authority here. This is officially a crime scene at this point. We have EMS on the scene. This ain't your call, kid.
All right. Don't say I didn't tell you. Don't say I didn't warn you.
Duly noted. All right. Hey, your sister took off.
You're right. Yeah, that's right. I actually have like 3 bites, so I assume I just incredibly fast pounding.
Yeah. Ruby, you've made it to the entrance of the park, and you kind of lean out past the wall and look around. The Jeep has gone away. There's no trace of its light or anything. You see the blood trail that they were that one human in the orange vest, the orange hunting vest, was tracking. You can see on the pavement where he scooped it up and kind of rubbed it between his fingers. All that is what you find there.
Okay, I was just wanting to know, like, where the light went, but there's no more light, so I have no leads.
No leads. Yeah, Ronnie is now here.
Yes.
Yeah, Olympic running brother.
What did you follow me for?
You were leaving town. I wanted to know you were okay.
I wasn't leaving. I was just seeing where they left to.
And they were leaving.
Yeah?
Back to the realm of the gods. Where we cannot go or we will die, I assume is what we believe.
Yeah, but they didn't seem like gods to me. They smelled like death.
Oh yes, I was there. I smelt that too.
This
smelled like 1,000 deaths.
Oh yeah.
This area, this entrance to the park, still lingers with the stench of death.
Did you not hear what they said, though? They had a moral right to put him down. I don't know. A god of death is not inherently evil, I guess is what I'm getting.
No, but they're the ones who did it in the first place, aren't they?
Again, if he needs to... He's a gigantic man with horns enough to kill 8 of us at a time. Why does anyone think this guy might be a good guy?
I'm just thinking maybe there's a bit more to this than we're seeing.
You and that fucking boat. Alright. Are you okay? Did they hurt you in any way? Are you harmed?
No, they didn't even see me.
Then can we please go back home? There's
Okay.
a potential demon in our town, and I don't want to leave that unattended.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, if he is a demon, maybe the church could exorcise him?
Sure. I don't know if we have demonology practices. I don't know if this happens. I don't think he'll fit in the Underdark. So Underworld, what do we call it?
Underdark. I stole the word. Yeah.
Yeah. It just felt wrong. I don't think that guy can fit in the Underdark. It's really all we have.
Yeah, if it works, it works. So, we should go back and check on him.
Alright. Do you return?
Yeah, Miss Missy has, with blazing speed and, brilliant craftsmanship, woven gauze together into a large enough patch to cover the wound, and just kind of impotently splashed the whole bottle of her medical alcohol onto the wound, and sighing out loud that it's not nearly enough. I'm going to need all of the alcohol that I have left in the infirmary, and I don't know if I can make a kind of a sacrifice for an outsider. Morgan, do you... What is this thing?
He calls himself a thrall. I don't...
A thrall?
He said thrall Abdul when I asked him what they called him.
What an ugly word.
Yeah, you're telling me.
Yes, we have sensible names like Miss Missy and Sam Morrigan.
sensible, common, civil name,
And
right?
Chewie. You forgot Chewie.
And Chewie.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Real sensible name.
It's at that point that Miss Missy kind of sees Chewie in analysis paralysis and kind of walks up to her, walks up to Chewie, and kind of takes Chewie's hands in her soft, declawed hands. Chewie, are you okay? You're muted.
What is that?
Every time.
I was trying to eat pizza.
It's okay. It's new and different, and I understand that you may have some difficulty with new and different. We are not sure what it is, but for the time being, it doesn't seem to be harming anyone. Could you tell your dad and your uncle, and could you also go get the Reverend? I feel like this is maybe a theological mishap of some kind of theological emergency. Could you do that for me?
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chewie. Chewie, you're still here.
Bye.
He turns. Yes, he turns you around and kind of gives you a little push.
Like looking between like them and the deer, just like.
Right.
Oh, it's not good.
Possums, you return to the scene of this.
How goes the recovery effort?
I don't have nearly enough alcohol. For myself
what a
or for the
shame.
wound.
Ah, what a shame. Guess I'll die. Oh no.
I forgot how insufferable you religious types can be.
That was... Okay.
You think
Ron-
he's not
Ronnie.
gonna die?
If you think
I-
this is an issue, Ronnie, go get your dad.
I've already sent for his father. Don't worry.
Chewie. I feel like I was gonna say. I feel like Chewie is usually
Do you
the person getting.
Do you trust Chewie?
Do you trust you?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
He's a good kid.
I imagine he's at least probably older than me the more I think about
By a
it.
little bit, yeah. By a little bit, yeah.
Ruby's younger than us.
Yeah.
You know, we went to school together. He's all right. He'll get it done as long as there's nothing
Alright.
too distracted along the way. Meanwhile, a pinwheel that someone placed in the park.
There's like a pinwheel on top of like Mr. and Mrs. Vol's kite shop. Oh yeah.
But once it's done, and Reverend happened to be walking by.
But, oh, hey, Rev.
Thank you so much for coming out and having a nice dinner with us, Reverend. It was so nice to have a nice long theological chat about the nature of humans and their various complex Is that my nephew? Chewie? Chewie?
Bye.
What? Didn't I tell you to go check on whatever?
Yeah, big things happen. You need to come here, and we need the Reverend, and there's a weird thing.
I have the Reverend right here, Chewie. Where is the thing?
This way, follow.
Okay. And they follow you. You guys all make it to everyone who's anyone, like every political figure of major faction importance is now here at the base of this tree. Well, yeah, there's a few other police birds here, along with police. Right. Along with Police Commissioner Chompers is here, a stray cat as well. She's also here taking notes, looking at this thing. Everyone's making their own individual luck checks, trying to not go insane looking at this thing. This entire ensemble is having quiet, murmuring conversations, private theological debates as happening amongst all things, when suddenly, and without warning, no, without pretext, breaking through the murmuring like when might say that a bullet rips through someone's intestines. Thrall Abdul awakens violently and says, "The Lynx King!" and then returns to his fevered slumber. And that is where we're going to end tonight's episode of Trash Chronicles, a campaign featuring Roots in the Daddy's Dungeon big umbrella. You're watching Daddy's Dungeon, you're also watching Trash Chronicles. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's time to do a little bit of housekeeping. I don't want to take up I don't want this to run a little any longer. I know people have Dimension 20 to go watch, or I have or what's the one that's actually streaming live right now? It's freaking Critical Role. It's time for each of the players to pitch a piece of art for the Patreon. I'll be doing a Twitter poll on my Twitter tomorrow after this episode premieres on YouTube. So, Noodle Goon, you have the floor. What is your pitch?
I would like there to be. I would like the image of Ruby with the disc on her head, saying, "See, it's harmless."
Yeah.
Ruby bonk disc harmless. Excellent.
Okay. I need to think of a different one.
I gotcha.
Video
So
games.
there is an actual end of session thing to do in this game that I figured out. But I'll go through it after we do the art.
Video games. What is your pitch for the Patreon art this week?
I like the mental image of this tiny possum with a lighter, like a big lighter, standing in front of a god of death with headlights flooding over it.
Heck yeah! God of death. Okay, so it's harmless. God of death. Grem, what do you have?
Love to see people's interpretation of like the red-eyed one.
Oh, that's I'm doing it. I'm doing the Patreon art.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll do the red-eyed one if you want. Yeah, God of
Yeah,
Death,
I definitely
red-eyed
like to see
one.
that.
It's harmless. What do you got for me, Moss?
It says, I just had it, now it's gone.
Oh no!
The bird
Just
fight, the bird fight.
Bird fight. All right,
Yeah.
it's harmless. God of Death, the red-eyed one. Bird fight. Thank you guys so much for watching. Vote tomorrow on the Twitter poll if you want to see what to dictate which one I get to draw for the Patreon. Thank you guys again so much for watching. I, of course, have been your garbage man, Goon. Playing Chewy Raccoon has been Grem.
Graham.
Playing Ruby Possum has been Moss Creature.
Yay. The more you say it, the more you'll get used to it.
Play Ronnie Possum has been the Noodle Doodler.
You perhaps could prove that in court.
Okay, running joke just spilling over from last season. That's cool. And
I'm gonna think of a new one ahead of time.
playing Detective Sam Morrigan is Video James.
Enjoy your evening.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for watching. And here's a little reminder: you're all trash. That's gonna be this season's sign off. I'm retiring. Who's your daddy for now? It's gonna be you're all trash as we fade into the theme music.